This video is for anyone who is in the middle of a process. Actually, that could be everyone because we are all in the middle of this process called life. But just this concept that Robin Sharma shares in the book, The 5 a.m. Club. And I think it's a really well written book and it's a really interesting story. So if you haven't read it, I highly suggest you should. But the concept that I'm about to talk about is the cycle of every process. And the cycle of every process is it's difficult in the beginning, confusing in the middle, and easy in the end. And this applies to actually everything in life. Whenever you start something new, it's difficult. Then you learn a little bit, and then comes a period you think, look, I don't even know. Should I do this? Should I continue? What's the next stage? You kind of get into this weird question phase. And if you go over that, then becomes the easy part. The video and the purpose of this video today is to show you most people stop in the hard or confusing phase. And they start something new. And then they fail to ever reach the easy part. And that's the topic I want to talk to you about today, because once you understand this cycle, you can kind of turn inwards and be like, okay, is this really difficult? Is it turning into this confusion, or is it getting easier? Once you understand this, and there's kind of these natural cycles in interest. Towards the end of the interest, towards the end of the cycle, it gets easy. And yeah, you can start the cycle again and you can kind of go back to that old interest. But if you simplify this idea and think about your life, and you know if something is kind of getting easier, you also know that it might be that you want to stay in a certain level and just continue to doing that easy, but usually it gets boring. So either it dies off, or then you kind of keep the momentum going. For so many people, it's so difficult and so confusing in the early and the middle part that we stop. And by stopping there, we force ourselves to start a new cycle somewhere else, and we repeat the whole thing once again until we stop before it gets easy. And if you think about, imagine like professional athletes. They have all gone through this cycle. It kind of becomes easy for them to be that certain type of person. They go to the gym, they have this strict regime of working out and all these things because they've done so much. The hardest struggle and the most confusing struggle for most professional athletes was the time when they still didn't know if they were gonna go professional or if they're gonna choose another career. So if you actually want to master something, you have to go through this cycle. And when you start mastering it, it kind of becomes easy, but then you can start creating challenges inside of that, and you do these small cycles inside of that whole big thing. So what you could do next is that you could journal on this whole concept, and you can take some parts of your life and be like, oh, that's interesting. Am I in the first, second, or third phase of this kind of evolution of everything? And if you are in the confusing phase, because that's the most dangerous one, that's when a lot of people quit and then they try something else and they quit. If you are in this phase, it's really critical that you understand that, oh, if I keep going a little bit more, then I will reach the goal. You've probably seen this meme when you have two of these, they're digging this hole and one of them gets a small prize, and then the other one is just quit and there's huge chunk of diamonds and stuff. Just so close. And that's the reality. Most of us, we come up with some kind of idea, or there comes an internal block or some kind of fears, and then we stop, we let it go. And we never see how far we could have gone. And that kind of starts eating you inside. And because I'm 37 now, I realized that, oh, I have to kind of see some things through, because if I don't push it now, and this YouTube channel is one of those things, if I don't push myself now when it feels really confusing, when I'm totally out of it, and I do something else, and that has crossed my mind so many times, I would never know where this is gonna go. And probably if I find this video in 5 years, I'm gonna be like, yo, this is it. I'm gonna probably cut this video into a future video where I talk about this on why it's so important to not quit when you're confused. It's another thing if you quit when it's too hard and it's just too difficult, because then you haven't gone that far in the process. Then when you have the skills and you have like, I know how to edit, I know how to do videos, I know how to talk on camera, but I still need to push through and kind of get the topics on point and get my communication on point and all these things. I know that I would regret it if I wouldn't do this that I'm doing right now. If you are in this phase of difficult and confusion, just push through a little bit more until it starts to feel a little bit easier. And then you can decide if that thing is even for you. But I could guarantee that you're just gonna keep going because you get this sense of relief. You finally achieved something you struggled for. And that, my friend, is always better than achieving something easily. That's gonna be it for today's video. My name is Mitz, your future purpose, here to help you get more courage, find more fulfillment, purpose, joy, excitement in life. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in a future video.